that's what we use. It definitely works. So, hey everybody, this is Michelle with Red Dirt Rooster Road. Today we are going to show you guys how we do a DIY fire starter. So basically, for as long as I can remember, where we've had a wood stove for the last 20 some odd years, we do not buy commercial fire starters. We make them, and it's so easy. It is very inexpensive. There's multiple ways to do it, so the cost can be almost nothing to doing more of what we do here in central Oklahoma. Anyway, in our area, the trees that we typically have for firewood are oak, blackjack, a post oak, maybe sometimes an elm or something. They're the hardwoods, but that's just what we have here. They don't start real easy. I mean, you got to have a pretty good fire starter to get them started. That or your kindling just has to be so small, and just where you can keep putting a lot on it, basically getting it bigger and bigger to get that started. So what we have found years ago is basically wax starters. There are wax melts that you can get, and Scentsy is a brand, it's a brand that's out there. And I will buy those little cubes of wax melts. I like to get the more, kind of a natural if I can, when I can find those. But I like to use those just to give a nice scent in the house. When the wax burns down, it loses its fragrance. Well, wax is flammable, so I don't toss those. So I'll show you what I do. This is one of my wax melts here in a bathroom here, and you can see that wax is moving around. So it is liquid. It's hot. And I think I put this little cube in here yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to show you. This is a paper towel, but it's one of those half sheets. I take a half sheet and I just put it in here and I soak up the wax. You can see the wax there still trying to drip. And I just kind of turn it around. I try to get it to go back on itself. So now, as soon as this is cooled just a hair, we are going to go put it in. Okay, so here's the wax paper towel that we just got. So you can see I've got these wax melts, and sometimes they're a big piece, sometimes it's little. The one we just did, it's still flexible. It's right here. Okay, so some people might say that this is wasteful to have to buy the wax melts and all, but what we're doing is we are recycling because I have used those little wax melts in the house for years and years. And back a lot of years ago, I realized that you can take a paper towel, you can take pine cones, you could dip those pine cones in that wax melt, melted wax. I just use the little half sheets of a paper towel. We never have to buy fire starters because I've always saved our wax, and I just prefer to use a paper towel. It's so much cheaper than, buying a fire starter or something. You can make this a little bit more thrifty if you wanted. Yes, you could use pine cones. You could do little scrap pieces of kindling.
These are 2 pieces of kindling. This one right here that I'm trying to light has no wax on it. It's just dried up wood. You can see that it is It's just not wanting to burn. So this is the other piece that has been dipped in wax. You can kind of see the coating right there. Just look at how different it lights. I mean, you just really don't have to, it just takes off on its own.
Crazy difference. That's with a little bit of wax. The other one, no wax, just wood. Same piece of wood. It's crazy. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how we start our fires. Give you a little bit of ideas if you wanted to do something that's a little bit DIY. It's not having to go out and purchase fire starters for your wood stove or your fireplace. You could actually take like an old metal coffee can, or say you get a little pot from a thrift store. Also at the thrift store, you can find oh my goodness, they have so many old candles. Get you a little pot or a little can, even, a tomato can or a can that beans or something came in, clean it out, and use that as your melting pot. Put a candle on in there, put it over a fire, stick it on your fireplace when you do have one started. Melt that wax down. When it's melted, whatever you want to use, whether it's a paper towel or a pine cone or wood chips, there are so many things that will burn, but I'm kind of gearing this towards the wax melts. If you didn't want to purchase wax melts, I buy them for the house. It's something that I'm already using. But when I do use them and their smell is used up, I go in and I soak up the wax, and then I stick that little paper towel to the side. Sometimes I have a Ziploc bag and I stick them in there and store them. And that way, through the summer and the spring, summer, fall, when we're not making fires, but I'm still using wax occasionally, maybe once or twice a week, I will put a cube in there. And so when it's time, I soak that wax up, I put it in that bag, and then come winter time, I have a few bags, set aside of fire starters. So that's what we do. Let's get to making this fire. You guys can see how well that fire starter starts. Okay, now it's a little easier to see that paper towel right there is caught. There you go. And I can stick that back up through there like that. Okay, I'm getting ready to close it. I don't want the smoke to come in here, but you can see that catches so fast back up in there. So that took not even 5 minutes. It might seem weird that I'm the one doing the fire. I know. Oh, yeah, this is common. Look at that. I end up filthy. I know it might be a little odd that Monty is not the one making the fires and taking care of them, but so much of the time he is working when either the fire needs to be made or it needs to be cleaned out. So I just kind of always do it. Okay, so just wanted to also throw this in here is the pine cones. These are a few that I dipped. Waxed pine cone. You saw in there that I went ahead and I did a few the wood chips, and I've dipped some of those, and those work wonderful as well. So really, it's the wax. Anything that you wax, wood is going to burn longer than the paper towel. It takes a little bit more effort into, show you my bucket here, takes a little bit more effort into dipping them, to getting them, waxed, because you've got to have a little bit bigger amount of wax, or have the can that these can fit down in. Look at the wax on the top of that one. The burn factor for getting that fire going would be much better, which would be longer. This is all about just being more DIY. So there's lots of options. Think outside the box and share with us, comment back and let us know what you use for fire starters. That's what we use, is a waxed paper towel. So anyway, you guys have a blessed day, and thank you for watching, and definitely give us your feedback on this. It definitely works. So thanks, you guys. And stay warm. Bye.